The American Revolution was shaped not only by famous generals and statesmen, but also by women whose courage, sacrifice, and service strengthened the cause of independence. Some worked behind the scenes, while others faced danger beside the army. Their stories reveal the determination and devotion that helped build the United States, and they deserve to be remembered. Women of the American Revolution. Jane Black Thomas, the writer who warned the Spartan Regiment. In July 1780, the South Carolina Backcountry was a landscape of divided loyalties, armed patrols, and sudden violence. Patriot resistance had nearly collapsed after the British captured Charlestown. Colonel John Thomas Sr. and two of his sons were prisoners at the British post of 96. Their wife and mother, Jane Black Thomas, traveled there with food and supplies. During one visit, tradition says she overheard two Loyalist women discussing a surprise attack on a Patriot camp at Cedar Spring. Jane understood the danger immediately. Her son, Colonel John Thomas Jr., commanded the militia gathered there. To reach him, she faced a journey of nearly 60 miles through territory controlled or watched by the enemy. Jane was about 60 years old. She was not a young courier trained for speed, and no military officer had ordered her to ride. She mounted a horse because the warning might save her son and the Spartan Regiment. The story remembered in South Carolina says that she traveled from 96 to Cedar Spring in time for the Patriots to prepare. Her ride became one of the most dramatic accounts of a woman's wartime service in the southern backcountry. Jane Black was born in Pennsylvania around 1720 and grew up in Chester County. She married John Thomas in 1740. Seeking land for their growing family, the couple joined the movement of settlers traveling south along the Great Wagon Road. They first established a home near Fishing Creek and later moved to the Fair Forest Creek region in what is now Spartanburg County, South Carolina. They helped establish a Presbyterian community in a frontier world where farms, churches, mills, and family networks provided much of the structure that distant government could not. The Revolution divided that community. The conflict in South Carolina was not simply a struggle between British soldiers and American colonists. It was also a civil war among neighbors. Patriot and Loyalist militia raided homes, seized livestock, destroyed property, and punished families identified with the opposing side. Jane and John committed themselves to the Patriot cause. John gave up his former positions as a magistrate and militia captain under royal authority. In August 1775, he became colonel of a new Patriot militia organization known as the Spartan Regiment. Several of the couple's sons and sons-in-law also entered service. The Thomas home became more than a family residence. It served as a gathering place for militia and as a storehouse for ammunition. That made it a military target. During an attack generally dated to 1779 or early 1780, a large Loyalist force approached the house to seize or destroy the powder and arms kept there. Most of the small guard withdrew in the face of overwhelming numbers. Jane remained with her son-in-law, Josiah Culbertson. Culbertson's later pension statement provides unusually strong evidence for Jane's role. He recalled loading his guns and firing from different positions while his mother-in-law kept him supplied with bullets. Their rapid resistance made the attackers believe a larger force still occupied the house. The Loyalists retreated, leaving the defenders and the ammunition safe. Another veteran remembered men inside casting bullets while the fighting continued. One enslaved person belonging to the Thomas household was killed during the attack. A reminder that Patriot claims of liberty existed besides slavery and that enslaved people also suffered the violence of the war. The ammunition Jane helped protect was not symbolic. Patriot forces later needed powder and shot for continuing operations in the backcountry. Her service required physical work under fire, calm judgment, and a willingness to remain when retreat would have been understandable. Jane's 1811 obituary specifically remembered her as a sincere and spirited Whig who helped guard the magazine and confronted its attackers. That near-contemporary tribute firmly establishes that her neighbors and family associated her with active resistance. By the summer of 1780, the danger had intensified. British victory at Charlestown encouraged Loyalist forces and left many Patriot families exposed. John Thomas Sr. and his sons Abram and Robert were captured and confined at 96. Abram died during imprisonment. John Sr. was eventually transferred to Charlestown and remained a prisoner for many months. British authorities permitted wives to bring provisions to some captives, and Jane used that access to care for her family. On July 11th, according to the traditional account, Jane heard that Loyalists planned to strike the Patriot camp at Cedar Spring the following night. She knew the camp and the men gathered there. Her ride carried her across a region where recognition or interception could have led to imprisonment, violence, or death. Roads were rough, river crossings uncertain, and horses could fail. Even under favorable conditions, nearly 60 miles demanded endurance. Jane reached the camp and delivered her warning. Colonel Thomas Jr. reportedly had about 60 militiamen. After hearing his mother's message, he left campfires burning and arranged blankets to suggest that the soldiers were asleep. The men concealed themselves in the woods. When a Loyalist force traditionally numbered at about 150 approached the apparently unguarded camp, the hidden Patriots fired. The attackers, surprised by the ambush they had intended to spring, quickly withdrew. The result at Cedar Spring has long been celebrated, but careful history requires a qualification. The surviving evidence does not establish every detail with certainty. The best-known version was recorded decades later through family recollections and 19th century histories. No clear contemporary battle report confirms the accepted date, numbers, or sequence, and historians have debated whether this first Cedar Spring skirmish occurred exactly as later writers described it. South Carolina's official commemorative history continues to recognize Jane's ride, while modern scholarship identifies the weaknesses in the military record. That uncertainty should be stated honestly, but it does not erase Jane's documented courage. The defense of the Thomas ammunition store is supported by veterans' pension testimony and her obituary. Her family's imprisonment, the Spartan Regiment service, and the violent struggle between Patriots and Loyalists are also well established. The ride belongs to a durable tradition rooted in the experiences of people who knew the Thomas family, even if the passage of time blurred its details. Cedar Spring was one of many small encounters that helped restore Patriot confidence after the fall of Charlestown. The Spartan Regiment continued fighting in the campaigns that led toward Musgrove Mill, Blackstock's Plantation, and Kings Mountain. Jane did not command those soldiers, but information delivered at the right moment could be as valuable as ammunition. A militia could survive only if someone watched roads, carried supplies, protected weapons, cared for prisoners, and warned of danger. After the war, Jane and John moved to the Greenville district. Jane died on April 16, 1811, at about 90 years of age. Her obituary praised her usefulness to society, her Presbyterian faith, and her steadfast Patriot allegiance. John died later that same year. Their long lives had carried them from Pennsylvania through frontier settlement, imperial crisis, civil war, and the creation of the United States. Jane Black Thomas matters because she refused to treat war as something happening beyond the walls of her home. When ammunition was threatened, she helped defend it. When her husband and sons were imprisoned, she carried provisions to them. When she learned that another son and his men faced a possible surprise attack, she acted. Whether remembered beside a smoky cabin or on horseback along the road from 96, she represents the intelligence, labor, and determination that kept resistance alive in the South Carolina backcountry. Her famous ride deserves careful wording. Her courage deserves remembrance.